Good afternoon to you and a very happy Friday. Starting off with a frog in my throat, not a great start. How are you doing? A few people joining now. I'll just wait for you guys to come in. Greetings to you. Happy Friday. Happy 29th of January. Goodness, where has this month gone? So, how are you? Happy Friday, good afternoon to you. How are we all doing today? Give me a wave if you're just joining. 29th of January, it's almost February. Can you believe that? Doesn't time fly by? Greetings if you're just joining. Give me a wave, give me a thumbs up. Hello, hello, hello. Greetings, greetings. Belinda, hi, can see you. Henrik, hi. How are you doing? We do have a multinational crowd then today, don't we? Denmark and Ireland and UAE, and who else have we got on? Nice to see you all. Good afternoon. Happy Friday. How are we all doing today? Can you believe it's already the 29th of January? It's almost February. I don't know where this month has flown by. Well, in a way it feels like it's flown by, but then if I think back to December, that feels like forever ago. So greetings from Dubai. Do tell me where in the world are you. Some of you I know where you are. Some of you maybe I don't, so do let me know where you are. Let me know how's your family, how's your business, how is your team. Give me a bit of a wave. What have you been working on this week? Has it been a good one? And I see that you've had snow. Some people in the UK have had snow. I'm sure you've got snow in Denmark, Henrik. But what about in Ireland? How is it there? I do miss the snow. It's very pretty. Well, I miss it for the first, like the first day. It's really pretty, and then it's just cold and slushy. But I've been seeing all the pictures from home and it looks absolutely beautiful. So greetings to you. We have had a really great week. We've finally moved in. We finally moved into our new home. So now I can officially say that I live in Dubai. Lots of you have been asking me, have you moved there? Is that where you live now? And I haven't really been able to say yes. And now I can say that I live in Dubai. So greetings from Dubai. And now that the UK government has added UAE to its red list, and it's basically cancelled all flights, that's kind of put a bit of a spanner in my splitting my time between London and Dubai ploy. That's not going to work for a while, so we're going to be here for now. So greetings to you all. Let me know how January has been for you. I know there's been a lockdown in the UK, lockdown number 3, or are we on number 4? I'm losing track. What about wherever you are? I know that a lot of you are juggling homeschooling with running a business, which is super tough. So Henrik, homeschooling 4 kids, goodness me. Means that January felt like 73 days long. Yeah, no, I feel you. And lots of snow by the sounds of things. Belinda, you're in Dorset, okay, with the family. Schooling 3 grandkids, is that what you signed up for? Mum always tells me that's one of the most wonderful things, is that you can just do the bits that you like when you're a grandma and not necessarily some of the bits, but maybe you like the homeschooling. My mum's certainly been helping my niece with a lot of her work, and also my nephew a little bit as well, and she really enjoys that. So, but I know that a lot of you are juggling homeschooling and running a business and lots of different things, and it's pretty tough at the moment with all the lockdowns. So I hope that you are keeping well. Hope that your family is doing well, and that you're all safe and well, and also hope that your business is well. One of my clients actually has 2 children in nursery, but they had a COVID scare last week, and so just at the last minute all the children were sent home. So that's a really challenging situation for her to be in when they're in the middle of a huge fundraising round. So, excuse me, I'm aware that many of you are facing some pretty challenging times. So, tell me how your week has been. I'm just going to take a sip of this water. I can't get rid of this frog that has lodged itself in my throat. So, this week has also been busy in between moving. So basically what we're doing is We've been going to shops and getting things delivered and getting things assembled, etc. in the morning, and then in the afternoon into the evenings, we've been still running our businesses kind of on UK hours. And this week I ran a flow team session with the Me Infinity team. So some of you will know Paula, the founder of Me Infinity, who's a member of this wonderful community, and she runs an amazing project that she started last year, helping each and every one of us do our little bit to combat climate change. She is a lady on a real mission, and I've had the pleasure of working with her for several months now. She's been building up a small team around her, and we did a session looking at everybody's energies and how they can collaborate and build up trust as the project takes off. So as I've mentioned many times, I love sharing that Contribution Compass tool with teams and seeing that increased awareness, if you like, of what puts each of us in flow and how powerful it is when we understand each other and also ourselves at a deeper level. But since I started this business, coaching has really been the real passion for me, and helping many of you get increased clarity and confidence, and finding those kind of breakthroughs that you've been looking for to take your business up to that next level. And so many of you have been booking in clarity calls to kind of get a kickstart on that next step, or to discuss what coaching could do for you and your business. So keep those coming. If there's anything that I can do to help you just get a bit more clarity and confidence, or overcome some of those blockers. Sometimes we're too close to them, we can't see them. I really love helping you get clear and put in boundaries and make those decisions, those important decisions for yourself and for your business. So thank you also to everybody that's offered to write a review, either on my Facebook page or on LinkedIn. I really do appreciate all those positive comments. And I also really love hearing from you, which I have a lot this week, if you're enjoying my book. So a lot of you are continuing to buy my book, so thank you for that. And it's always really good to know what is resonating with you and what you're finding particularly valuable. And some of you have been posting pictures on social media, pictures of you with the book, which I always really love. So yeah, last week we were talking about scaling, right? Or scaling a business, and I shared with you last week my 3 steps of scaling, my 5 things that you need to have or you need to develop in order to scale, and 2 things that you really need to be able to know clearly and be able to articulate. If you didn't get a chance to watch, to join us last week, or to watch since then you can find a recording of that live in the group's units along with all the others. And those of you that are paying close attention, and I'm sure that that's you will notice that every single live since going all the way back since June 2019 when this group first started, imagine now we've just crossed 700 members this morning. Really, really exciting. So all the lives from all that time, all the way back to June 2019, which feels like a very long time ago, they are all organised into units. So there's a unit for simplify your business, there's a unit for grow your business, and there's also a unit for enjoy your business. Everything I do falls into one or more of these 3 things. So hopefully you can easily find the support that you need for where you are in the journey right now. I want all 3 of those things for you, of course. I want you to be able to simplify, grow and enjoy your business, but you'll know yourself which one is needed most for you right now. And as you know, I tend to take my cues from you in terms of what would be most helpful for me to cover during these lives every Friday at 12 noon UK time. Sometimes maybe I've read something or I've reflected on a past experience and want to take those learnings and share those with you. And often I share things from my book or the things that I'm working with my clients on, but most often these lives come from conversations, questions and requests that I get from this community. So do keep those coming. Let me know, where are you stuck? What questions do you have? What challenges are you facing? This week's live has actually grown out of several client sessions that I've held over the last week or so. And today we're really talking about client strategies. So who are your clients? What do they want? And how do you find them? I'm going to come at this from a bit of a different angle. I've talked about client attraction and also the process of selling in previous lives. You'll find both of those in the Grow Your Business unit. If you haven't had a chance to watch those already, I would definitely recommend that you check those out. Client attraction and the process of selling. But today I really want to look at how focused are you really on your clients? That's what I want to talk about today. Do you have strategies in place to serve both existing clients but also to find new ones? And are the actions that you're taking really going to lead you through to the results that you want? So this is what we're going to cover today. So let's talk about existing clients first. And hello to you if you're just joining. I can see a few more people joining. Give me a wave or a thumbs up if you're joining so that I know that you're there and you can hear me all right. So let's talk about existing clients first. Do you know what they really want? What do they want from you? Above all, more than anything else, what clients want, and it doesn't matter what you're selling, they want a quality product or service and they want it delivered with consistency. And what they really want is to feel certainty that they've made a good decision giving you their hard-earned cash. And one of the most challenging aspects of scaling a business, which we definitely touched on last week, is that as the business grows, many founders find that their clients still only want to talk to them. And I know that many of you have talked to me about that as a particular challenge. But I wonder if you've ever asked yourself really why that is, because it's easy to get caught up maybe in a bit of ego around that, or, you know, that kind of feeling of, well, I'm the one that really knows, you know, I'm the most talented, or certainly I'm the most knowledgeable, I'm the one that started this business, you know, so that's why they want to talk to me, and that's why they only want to talk to me. But do you know what? More than that, those things might be true, but really the reason why they still want to talk to you is because they know, like, and trust you, and they don't want to take the risk that the quality and the consistency of what they are receiving from you is going to go away or change in any way. And so really one of the keys to scaling, for which you absolutely have to take a step back, you cannot scale without taking a step back. So in order to scale, and one of those keys to scaling is really to find a way to give your clients that certainty that the quality is not going to suffer by them dealing with somebody else in your team. And that is really one of the keys to scaling, and one of those challenges that you absolutely need to solve. So when I talk about processes and systems, and I know that I do a lot, and maybe you find yourself shriveling up a little bit inside, the little bit of you is dying when I start talking about processes. It's not really for the sake of the processes and the systems, it's really because that is the way that you give your clients the certainty that they need, without which they will continue to insist that they deal with you and you alone. So yes, your client retention strategy needs to focus on giving great value, of course it does, and also delighting your clients so they'll keep coming back to you and they'll refer you to your to their friends, to their family and their broader networks, of course. But your client retention strategy also needs to focus on how can you give your clients the confidence and the certainty to keep dealing with your business as it grows, and when you are not always the person that they will be dealing with. So I'm just going to jump in and see if there are questions or comments. So Richard is chipping on this. And he's saying it's about the people, not the money necessarily. It's now about adding extra value and more added free content to build community ecosystems. The money will follow. Absolutely, I agree. But it is also about that certainty and consistency. We're also busy. We want to have that security, if you like, that knowledge that what we're getting is going to be consistent before we part with our hard-earned cash. Look, a few more comments. Oh yeah, Henrik, sounds like you've had an interesting time with your business. Yeah, good luck with all of that. That sounds like a challenge, but you're finally back on track. That is brilliant. That is brilliant. Brilliant to hear. It's been a challenge on both sides of the channel, right? Oh, not just the channel, but the pond as well. I know you're in New York as well. So yeah, challenging times for everybody, but glad you're back on track. So thanks for that update. So in terms of new clients, so that was a bit about client retention, and in terms of your client retention strategy, it is about that certainty, and it is about adding that value, as Richard was just saying. And now I want to talk a little bit about new clients, and again I want to take a little bit of a different tack here. I've often talked about how we like to make things complicated, right? I reckon that it makes us feel smart. And so I try and keep things very, very simple. And one of the easiest ways to find new clients is to understand why an existing client came to you in the first place and then replicate. So that sounds really straightforward, right? How can you find more people with similar problems, similar needs, similar ways of looking at things, similar gaps in knowledge and experience, similar challenges? And as I say, that sounds logical and straightforward, but a lot of us don't follow that strategy. And that is because one of the challenges, particularly with creative people, and a lot of entrepreneurs are naturally very creative. I think we've all got a creative side, right? We all have that creative bit inside of us, however we're wired. And that creative bit wants to focus on new and shiny and innovative solutions, and it wants new, right? We all like to find new avenues, new opportunities, new channels, new approaches to solving problems and to serving our customers, and that's absolutely fine. But you're really missing a trick and leaving a lot of potential value on the table if you don't leverage what you already have in front of you. And so the real question here is, what has worked before in terms of finding new clients, and how have your existing clients come to you, and how can you repeat that? How can you build that into a repeatable process? But what if you don't have any clients? What then? And this is where it gets really interesting. So I just want to talk a little bit about how do you find that first client? I've had sessions with 3 people this week in this exact situation. One is starting an interior decorating business, another is starting a legal consultancy, and a third is an e-commerce crafts business. So all quite different businesses and all very interesting in their own right. But do you know what they all have in common? And that is that all 3 of them are currently working on their website and working on their branding. They each told me that they were getting ready, but they weren't quite ready yet, quite ready to start their businesses. And I get that. Do you know what? I have to say that I did exactly the same when I started this business. Months and months and hundreds of pounds getting ready. Now, I've got nothing against branding, and I've got nothing against having a good website when the time is right. But I want to just take a little bit of a step back for a moment and get this into perspective. What type of person will do business with a brand new business? What kind of person will do business with a business that doesn't even have a single client? So unless you're going to lie, which I really don't advocate, that is the question, that's the challenge, right? What type of person is going to do business with a brand new business? What type of person will become your client, will become your very first client? Think about it. Is a complete stranger going to give you their money knowing that you've never done this before for anyone? Are you really going to find that very first client online? Question. Now, some of you might be sitting there going, yes, I really am. And good for you. I'm happy for you. But what is highly likely is that that first client will be somebody that you already know, or somebody that is referred to you by someone that you know. And why is that? That is because the trust is already there, either because they know you directly, or because someone that they trust knows you and trusts you. So if you like, the trust effectively is transferred in that scenario. That is where your first client will come from. And let me tell you something else about that first client. They don't care about your website. They're probably not even going to look at it. That lovely website that you've crafted over many months, that branding that you've agonized over, your first client is not going to care about any of that. Why would they? They know you, they like you, they trust you already. They know what you can do. So the question is, why do we spend all that time and money on a website and branding right at the beginning, when we first start out, before we've even got a client? And you know, I've said before, a business is not really a business when it's got a product or a service. A business is only a business when it's got its first client. And I would argue that until you've got your first client, you don't need a website and you don't need branding. And the reason is, so just thinking about why do we? So why do we? And I'd invite you to think about when you started your business, or maybe you're already, you're in that process, or maybe you're starting a new business. How much time did you spend on all of that stuff pre-first client? Especially when I can tell you with absolute certainty, based on my own experience and that of many, many, many clients that I've worked with, that your website and your branding will change, is highly likely to change as a result of what you learn from your first few customers. So now we get on to the real question. What is actually going on? What is actually happening when we focus on that website or that branding at the beginning? Well, okay, maybe it makes us feel better, maybe it makes us feel more credible, maybe it makes us feel more certain, maybe we have a bit more confidence. Maybe also it helps our thought processes to work with a designer who will ask us intelligent questions. Those things, yes, absolutely helpful. And it's true that you get value from that process. And that is usually what we tell ourselves or our coach when they ask us, when we get challenged. But my question to you is, what's really going on then when we're kind of tinkering and working on those things? What are we avoiding? If I ask you to tell me, if you're in that situation, if I ask you to tell me right now, who is the first person who's likely to buy your product or service? 99% of the time, you know, right? You can answer that question. And if I ask you who's client number 2 and number 3, you probably know that too, right? So the question is, if that's you and if you're in that situation, then why aren't you out there closing that deal, asking for that business, onboarding that first client? Once we go there, then we get to understand what's really going on. And that's why I'm asking you this question. And it's maybe that you don't feel ready. That's also fine. Of course, that's fine. But let's not kid ourselves that branding or a website is really going to make us feel that much more ready. So let me know what your thoughts are. Yeah, Richard is saying version 1 is better than version none. I agree. But I guess my point, Richard, is that first client that you sign when you start your business is... I have never started a business and the first client's asked to see my website, and I've never coached anybody who's been in that situation either. So obviously we do need a website. Of course we do. It adds to our credibility. It states what our products and services are. Then you can have case studies, you can have your social proof, you can have all of those good things. People want to check you out, of course. And I'm not at all, don't misunderstand me, I'm not at all saying don't have a website. What I'm saying is that many, many people use the creation of that version 1 as an excuse to delay signing that first client, asking that question, having that conversation. And that's because often we don't feel ready. Often, and we're hiding that behind, oh, I'm just working on my branding, I'm just working on my website, rather than actually being honest and confronting the fact that we don't feel ready and maybe getting some help with that, or actually working with that rather than spending our time tinkering on the branding. So there's some of my thoughts on some client strategies. Do let me know your questions, your comments. Let me know what your next step is in life, in business. What do you need to make you feel more confident? Do book in a clarity call with me, and let's get you moving past whatever's blocking your progress and onto that next challenge. And before I close up for today, I want to give you some next steps, some concrete things that I suggest that you do as a result of today's live. And I'm going to give them to you as questions to ask yourself and also your team if you have one. So if you already have clients, what are 3 things that you could do to make them feel more certain about your offerings? If you're looking to scale, how can you give your existing clients more certainty as your team grows so that all roads don't keep leading back to you? So what are 3 things that you could do to offer you, to reduce the risk for your client of not always picking up the phone to you? Number 2, if you'd like more clients, then how did you attract those clients that you already have? And how can you repeat that process? How can you build that into a repeatable process that maybe other people can help you leverage? Go back and dissect rather than new, shiny new strategies all the time. What has already worked? And how can you repeat that? How can you find more people with those same challenges and those same attributes, if you like? And then number 3, if you are just starting out, who is your most likely client? Number 1, number 2, number 3. And if you haven't already spoken with them and asked them for the business, then what is really holding you back from starting today rather than in 2 or 3 months' time when your website or your branding is ready? I'm inviting you to confront that question. Please do let me know how you get on with those 3 questions. I'm going to close up today's live with 2 quotes about strategy. So the first quote is from Jeff Bezos, the founder at Amazon. A brand for a company is like a reputation for a person. You earn reputation by trying to do hard things well. And that's the point that I'm trying to make. Your brand and your reputation will come from serving your clients, not the other way around. And my second quote today is from Sun Tzu, the Chinese general and military strategist and author of The Art of War. Strategy without tactics is the slowest route to victory. Tactics without strategy is the noise before defeat. So decide what your goal is. What do you really want to achieve? And then figure out how to get there rather than just doing stuff without asking questions. Because as I pass it back over to you, that is what I really want you to take from today. What is the outcome that you're seeking? What is the result? What is the goal? Put your energy into getting really clear about that. But please allow yourself to do things your way. Yes, by all means, learn from me, learn from others. But when you synthesize all of that learning, when you bring it inside yourself, what comes out really must be congruent with you. What works for you? If you want to build something, then go for it. If you just want to do your thing, then that's absolutely okay too. Focus on listening to yourself and asking yourself what you need so that you can spend more of your time in your flow. And don't forget that the opposite of flow is friction. And so if things really aren't working, then I encourage you to take a step back and focus on getting some clarity. Get some objective input, maybe hire the services of a business coach. Take some time to look at what you're doing and specifically where an easier path would start from and also lead to. Ask yourself, what would a business that really works for me look like? Do let me know your thoughts and your questions on this or any other topic relating to how to simplify, grow and enjoy your business. Let me know what area of business you would like me to speak about next. As you know, I go live every Friday at 12 noon UK time. And I'm so looking forward to this very special, yes, challenging, but very special year ahead for you and your business. If you haven't already claimed your free copy of my book, The Real Entrepreneur, do go to therealentrepreneur.book.com. And if you prefer an Audible or a Kindle version, you can find those on Amazon. Check out chapter 6 of my book for more on client strategies. I do hope that you have a lovely weekend, whatever you're doing and whoever you're doing it with. I wish you a really happy and peaceful time. And as always, if you want to talk, then you know where I am. Please remember to be where you are in the journey. You don't need to know it all, and you definitely don't have to do it all. Do take care, stay safe, and keep in touch. Bye for now. Have a great weekend.